The world of K-pop is undeniably glamorous and captivating, with fans across the globe eagerly awaiting each new debut, comeback, and performance. But behind the polished performances, catchy songs, and vibrant visuals lies a complex and often troubling industry. One of the most contentious issues within K-pop today is the age at which idols debut. It's a topic that sparks endless debates among fans, industry professionals, and even within the idols themselves. So let's delve into why there must be a minimum age for debuting in K-pop, and why this issue is far more than just an industry standard. It's a moral imperative. First, let's start by examining the current state of affairs. Over the past few years, we've seen idols debuting at increasingly younger ages. Idols like Lee from IVE, who debuted at just 14 years old, and Wonyoung, who debuted at 13 with iZone, are examples of this trend. While their talent is undeniable, the question we must ask is whether it's ethical or even safe for children and young teens to enter such a high-pressure industry at these ages. The K-pop industry is notorious for its rigorous and often grueling training system. Trainees are put through intense schedules, which include vocal training, dance practice, language lessons, and strict diets. These children, because that's what they are, children, are often isolated from their families, friends, and the normal experiences that are crucial to healthy adolescent development. The pressure to succeed is immense, and failure to debut can have severe psychological consequences, ranging from depression to anxiety, and in the worst cases, leading to tragic outcomes. One of the primary concerns with debuting idols at such a young age is the potential for exploitation. These young trainees are often signed to long-term contracts that they, and sometimes even their parents, barely understand. The infamous slave contracts of the past may have been reformed, but they still exist in more subtle forms. A child cannot fully grasp the implications of signing away years of their life to a company, especially when they are blinded by the allure of fame. Parents, too, may be swayed by the promise of success, not fully understanding the toll it could take on their child's mental and physical health. Let's talk about the psychological impact. Adolescence is a critical period for emotional and psychological development. It's a time when young people are forming their identities, exploring their interests, and learning to navigate relationships. For K-pop idols, however, this period is often consumed by the relentless demands of the industry. The need to maintain a perfect image, the pressure to meet unrealistic beauty standards, and the scrutiny from the public and media can lead to severe mental health issues. We've seen cases where idols have spoken out about their struggles with depression, anxiety, and eating disorders. And these issues are only exacerbated when the idol in question is still a child. The concept of over-sexualization is another dark aspect of debuting young idols. The K-pop industry is driven by visuals as much as by music, and unfortunately, this often leads to the sexualization of idols, even those who are underage. Concepts, choreography, and even fashion choices can be inappropriate for young idols, but they are pushed into these roles because sex sells. This is not only damaging to the idols themselves, but also sends a disturbing message to young fans who look up to them. The normalization of sexualizing minors is a line that should never be crossed, and yet it happens all too frequently in K-pop. Moreover, young idols are often subjected to severe criticism and bullying from the public. The internet is ruthless, and even the smallest mistake can lead to a barrage of hate comments and cyberbullying. For an adult, this kind of scrutiny is hard enough to handle, but for a child or young teenager, it can be devastating. Lee from IVE, for instance, has been the target of online harassment simply because of her age, with some claiming she's too young to understand what she's doing or to handle the fame. This kind of toxic environment can erode a young person's self-esteem and leave lasting emotional scars. There's also the issue of education. K-pop idols who debut young often have to sacrifice their education to keep up with their schedules. While some manage to balance both, many do not. Dropping out of school or missing out on critical learning experiences can have long-term consequences for these young idols. Not everyone who debuts will have a long career in the industry, and without a solid educational foundation, they could struggle to find their place in the world once their time in the spotlight is over. Education is not just about academics, it's about developing critical thinking skills, social awareness, and the ability to navigate the world independently. all of which are essential for a healthy adult life. So what would a minimum age for debut look like, and why is it necessary? A sensible minimum age would be at least 18 years old, aligning with the legal age of adulthood in many countries. This would ensure that idols are mature enough to understand the contracts they are signing, the industry they are entering, and the potential consequences of their decision. It would also give them time to complete their education, develop their personal identity, and prepare themselves mentally and physically for the demands of the K-pop industry. Setting a minimum age of 18 would also help protect young idols from the harsh realities of the industry. They would be better equipped to handle the pressures of fame, the scrutiny of the public, and the demands of their companies. It would also reduce the risk of exploitation, as they would be more aware of their rights and better able to advocate for themselves. Moreover, it would allow them to enter the industry on their own terms, rather than being pushed into it by parents or companies eager to capitalize on their youth and talent. There are, of course, those who argue that talent should be nurtured from a young age, and that setting a minimum age for debut would stifle the development of young stars. However, this argument ignores the fact that there are many ways to nurture talent without subjecting children to the pressures of the K-pop industry. Young aspiring idols can take singing and dance lessons, participate in talent shows, and develop their skills in a healthy and supportive environment, without the need to debut at an age when they are still vulnerable. Moreover, the idea that young idols are necessary for the industry is flawed. The success of many groups with older members shows that talent, not age, is what truly matters. Groups like Mamamoo, who debuted with members in their early 20s, have proven that idols can be successful without debuting as teenagers. The focus should be on nurturing talent, not on debuting idols as young as possible. In conclusion, the need for a minimum age for debuting in K-pop is clear. It is not just about protecting young idols from the harsh realities of the industry, but also about ensuring that they are given the time and space to develop into healthy, well-rounded individuals. The K-pop industry is a powerful force, but with that power comes responsibility. It is time for the industry to take a stand and set a minimum age for debuting idols, to ensure that the next generation of stars can shine brightly without sacrificing their childhood, education, or mental health in the process. The future of K-pop should not be built on the backs of exploited children. Instead, it should be a place where talent is nurtured responsibly, where idols are respected as individuals, and where the industry can thrive without compromising the well-being of its stars. Let's demand a minimum age for K-pop debuts, not just for the sake of the idols, but for the sake of the entire industry. After all, a stronger foundation leads to a brighter future for everyone involved. So, what do you think? Should there be a minimum age for debuting in K-pop? If so, what age do you think is appropriate? Let's discuss it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the world of K-pop.